Da 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 Family Guy. Da 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 Family Guy. Hi, I'm Andre, and I'm a black nerd with a review for you. Better reviews. The thing that we thought would never happen in our entire lives, The Simpsons and Family Guy have come together for a crossover episode. This is a crazier crossover than when Steve Urkel appeared on Full House, That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana, or when Mr. T showed up on Alvin and the Chipmunks. That's a real thing. Mr. T, in cartoon form, showed up on the Alvin and the Chipmunks cartoon. Where was that in the Three Chipmunks movies? I'm gonna tell you the good, I'm gonna tell you the bad, and I'm gonna tell you the nerdy. Plot of Simpsons Family Guy crossover episode. Fox says, hey, we like money and we own both of you, so you're gonna do it. Best synopsis ever. First, the good. The fact that it just happened, the fact that Family Guy and Simpsons said we're gonna do a show together is really, really cool. Seeing Homer and Peter together just makes perfect sense. Of course, they're cut from the same cloth, but those two together was a really fun comedy duo. The moments where this episode shined was definitely the meta-referential humor. For example, when Peter tries to get Homer to do one of Peter's cutaway gags, that whole sequence made me laugh a lot. There's this whole storyline about how Pawtucket Pat's, which is Peter's beer, is just a cheap imitation of Duff, which is Homer's beer, and just the way they talk about the beers, you can clearly see they're talking about the shows, like, oh, Pawtucket Pat's the cheap imitation of Duff. Well, I haven't really tried Duff that much in the last few years, and it was definitely better 13 years ago than it was now. There's references to their skin tones, there's references to how certain characters in Springfield are similar to certain characters in Quahog. Even when they get to Springfield, they're like, what state is this? Oh, I don't think we're allowed to say. It was just perfect. That was definitely the best part of this show. A lot of people like to bunch them all together and go, oh, they're animated primetime cartoons, but they show, sometimes in good ways, sometimes in not so good ways, that The Simpsons and Family Guy, while animated, are really different. I have to be honest and say one of my favorite storylines from this episode was the Lisa Meg storyline. Lisa decides, I'm gonna find the one thing that you're good at, Meg. Turns out the one thing that Meg is good at is playing the saxophone. She even plays better than Lisa. And of course, Lisa gets into full-on jealousy because I've been trying all this time to find the one thing that Meg's good at, and the one thing she's good at is the thing that I'm good at, and I wish it was explored a little bit more because I feel like it was a great way for those shows to merge, but still have the comedic styles of their various shows. And look, I've seen some of the other critics complaining that they didn't like the Homer-Peter chicken fight, but I'm sorry. I freaking loved it. Did it go a little too extreme sometimes? Sure, but come on, it's Homer Simpson and Peter Griffin in an all-out chicken fight. The adolescent male in me loved it. I can't help it. Sorry, not sorry. I enjoyed it. I will watch that fight again when they re-air this episode or when someone uploads it illegally on YouTube. Now for the bad. It's not a true Simpsons Family Guy crossover. It's a Family Guy episode with Simpsons characters in it. I wish that this would have been more of a collaborative effort between the Simpsons and the Family Guy writers or the creators. You get the Simpsons kind of reacting to things, or you get the referential humor about the Simpsons, but the style of comedy that the Simpsons bring, even in the current seasons, which I still feel like people are more harsh on that show than they should be. I feel like that there's a humor and a style of the Simpsons that you don't get as much in this. And because it was more Family Guy than the Simpsons, there was a couple of times when jokes just, I'm not a prude. I love the dirty humor. I love the off-color humor. I love the controversial humor at times. But there's just certain jokes that you hear and you're just like, that's Family Guy and that's cool for Family Guy. But when you see a Simpson in there, you're just like, oh. They had a whole storyline of Stewie looking up to Bart like a role model. There's a joke about prank calling Moe where Bart does one and then Stewie does one, which is completely different from Bart. For Family Guy, it works. You know, that's a Family Guy joke. But when you see Bart Simpson there, you're just like, this doesn't feel right. And then there's this whole thing where Stewie tries to stand up for Bart when he gets beat up by Nelson. That takes a dark turn. They definitely bring the point home when Bart and Stewie talking to Anna being like, hey man, we are not the same. I get what they were trying to do, but it just a couple of times those jokes just felt like, this doesn't feel right. They didn't do anything with Lois and Marge, and I feel like there was a lot of material that could have been there. I mean, they both had gambling addictions. They both get really crazy when they're drunk. Lois is a little bit more out there than Marge, even though they're both the voice of reason. I just feel like there could have been something fun in that just got completely missed. And now for the nerdy. There is a hilarious Bob's Burger cameo. There's also an American Dad cameo. There's also talks about the Cleveland show. So everybody gets dinged. And when they go to trial about the two beers being the same, the judge for that trial was a perfect cameo, a perfect way to just define that none of this is original. Everything is a variation of something. That's just how it works when it comes to media. I'm sure at some point there will be a Family Guy version of Black Nerd Comedy. I'm pretty sure I'm a Simpsons variation of some other YouTuber, and I'm pretty sure that at some point someone will think that I'm not funny in 13 years. Or now. This is a cute episode. It's not the best Simpsons episode, it's not the best Family Guy episode, but it's just cute to see them together. And I just wish it was something that was just more collaborative between Simpsons and Family Guy, so it just felt like a true crossover and not just, hey, the Simpsons are guest stars. The fact that two different shows like this, which supposedly had a rivalry, it was cool to see these shows come together, and it would be cool to see other shows do that. But this is probably the last time we'll ever see a TV crossover. Okay, other than that one. Okay, other than that one. Okay, how's that even possible? One's live action and one's animated. Television, you are such a whore. What did you think of the Simpsons Family Guy crossover? Did you enjoy it, or was it the worst episode ever? And make your own crossover. What two television shows would you love to see come together? Thumbs up this video, and if you're new here, tickle that subscribe button. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Addy 5000. Chain chomp down.